think we've done a good
swinging.
job on this.
Oh,
We
it's
might want to
swingers.
rethink it,
Okay.
but I think we could possibly leave it for the moment.
Okay.
A lot of ideas.
Great.
I like that idea of a symbol for swinging. There never was one, at least not in the years way back when I was doing this. There was no symbol, and I think it's a
I
valuable
think
symbol.
it is important. And our big problem is that the true swing is a curved bow.
Mhm.
Here is your timing. So we really wanted it, and this is obviously the answer, the way to do it.
Possible answer with
But
possibly
visually,
some.
it should be vertical
Right,
because of time going by.
Right.
No,
And, well, if I just look at that as just a symbol without anything else, I'm not sure if the swing started on the right side of the line or the left side of the.
do you want to identify them?
Are you talking about which?
Did I start?
Oh, start
slow
the
and go
right
high,
or
Did I
left?
start, I mean, heavy?
Oh,
Did I start
name
heavy
them.
and get lighter?
ABC.
G and H or something.
Don't write on the wall.
B. E. Okay. Right. You're saying which side of?
Yeah, did I start light and get heavy? Or heavy and get light? I don't know whether I'm reading my line
Oh,
from right to left or left to right.
if there's an initiation ball, then it's clear from the right to the left. But if start reverse,
You just put it on the
Yeah.
other side of the
Then
board.
you just put it on the other side.
on the
Put it on the other side of the
Yeah,
board.
but then this doesn't tell.
That doesn't tell.
Yeah.
So it could just be, this is the sign. And so it's written on the right.
See, if I'm using it in motif notation, I might use it alone just to say you can do any kind of swing. Or you can do any kind of true swing, and with anybody. But then if you want to modify it more, and you would do this in lava notation,
Can we then do
I think what Angie said wouldn't work. Didn't you say that if you put the heavy part of the symbol on the right, it means the natural swing, the normal swing or something? It just meant a generic swing. If you put it on the right hand side.
The curved sign, you would just do
Yeah.
a curved shape.
No, I realize.
But how about combine?
If you put it on the right hand side.
I don't think you need it.
If you
I think
put
your
the
explanation is
initiation,
fine,
yeah.
and I don't think you need
Wait
the
a
gravity
second,
ball.
one group at a time.
Wait.
I know what I'm saying,
Anne
but
is saying something.
I know that, that's why she's saying and other people are talking, so I wanna have one person at a time talk.
Thank you.
Anne.
But my thought is it should be a symbol
Right.
for that kind of action, and you're not saying you have to start here.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's what I think is not right, because if you want to say start there, to be specific, you have to write another symbol to say read exactly as written, because you want it to start there and not on the other side.
You're talking about if,
No, I think what you need then is to notate.
that's what I
So
was
show
saying.
that your arm is side middle before you,
Right, Because
or
there's
the
some-
other side.
because there's so many different possibilities,
Yeah.
because you have to say, as you increase the specificity of what this swinging is, the question is, what are the other variables? You swing certain body parts? All right, well that you can use, put a body part in front of.
That's okay. That's
If it's a
fair.
matter of what plane you're on, you could either put direction signs or put what is that, those signs when you're talking about the plane that you do drawing on? What are they called?
Design drawing?
When I'm doing design drawing, I'm going on this surface, I'm going on this.
Oh,
surface.
there's with the area and then
With the-
surface
Yeah, you
pin.
could add that. So
That's true.
this is the sign, and the question is, do you want to incorporate those specific ideas into the sign, or have, as I think Ann said, I would agree, in those specific modifiers would be done, I say my right arm goes down and it goes up, right? And then on the side would have my swing side to show that it's done with a certain kind of energy. Do you see what I'm saying?
I like it better right in the staff, not on the side, unless I'm misunderstanding you.
No, in motif notation, it would certainly could be on the center, but in lava notation, you're saying to just put this symbol on the center staff, in the
Yeah.
center?
No,
No, you
Yeah.
can't.
Not in the center, but if it's an arm movement, I think I'd put it in the
Oh, I
arm
see.
column.
it
And
would
but
be the head, or it would be the leg, or the part of the body.
So that's important, so you might say, motif notation, we don't have a problem or an issue, but in lava notation, so you would say that this is, you would do this, right? Whatever, I'm gonna put a question mark here because we have right
Okay.
come up with that. Okay. So, and I'm not gonna say whatever this is, okay? E, F, G.
would you?
So you would do, so are you suggesting to do it this way in lava notation?
So some part of the body.
Well, it would
Well,
be
no,
in the arm
it's
column
in the
there.
arm column.
Oh, it's in the arm column.
Right.
Sorry.
It's in the arm, that it's in the arm column.
But in example E up here, do you even need the increase and decrease signs? I mean, if it's in the arm column and you're showing the swing symbol and you can see that at the beginning it's less than and it's heavier at the end, or vice versa, you know, you're going into gravity. Do you need increase, decrease?
In lava notation, no, the lava notation, I don't think we will draw that way though.
You're saying,
In E, for example.
In E, you don't need
because,
to
but how are you showing, because you can do a arc-like movement, right? You can do an arc-like movement.
But that's the same amount of energy that you're just
That-
demonstrating.
That's right. So if I do not put, if you just write this, that doesn't, then what that says is you go on a curved path, it doesn't, you can do this.
But when you make it thicker, then it's heavier. And when you make it the line thinner, in E, you have E.
In E.
You see that the line is thin at the beginning and gets thicker at the end, and
Okay, so I again am going back to, and I agree with Ann that this maybe needs more thought. That there is, to me, there is a difference between the concept of where in the body I initiate or begin the movement and the idea of I give into gravity. To me, they're very different ideas. So
you
this-
might use E without the increase and decrease, but with your curved line, but with a gravity symbol.
That's why
along the curved line.
That's why I
And
put
then
F.
you would have increase, decrease gravity. I don't see the increase, decrease. I
Well,
don't
you
even
have
know why
without
you
the
need it.
curve, without the curved line, you mean? Without the curved line?
No,
Yeah.
with the curved line.
Without the-
Just E, none of the other samples, just E. If you had no increase, decrease above your and below your curve, you just had the curve that is colored differently, but with a gravity
Now
sign.
you're back to B.
Now we're back to B? No,
No,
Right
no.
what you're talking about, that way, that.
you'd have a gravity, all you need is a gravity sign there.
Right,
I'm not following.
yeah.
First of all, I'd like to say that the black blob for the gravity should be a little bigger.
Yes,
I think they're a bit small. Yeah. And now, F is supposed to be combining both of those.
right.
Now, maybe the gravity sign could be closer to the line, I'm not much of an artist.
Yes. Need to be
All right,
closer.
now,
I like that.
but where is, but again, this is, are you confused, you're using the, again, when I'm
Yeah,
repeating myself.
that I will consider just a curve, doing a circular kind of a path without
And that
the
it's
energy of-
initiated somewhere in the body. That's different than talking, that's,
Why do you want the gravity sign higher up?
I didn't
No.
mean it to be higher up, it's just that I'm not very good at drawing.
Because the symbol for using weight,
Uh-huh.
is big.
it is for the black dot to be on top of the line.
You're
no
right.
Space.
But the thinness of the line tells me there's less gravity at the beginning of the swing, and the thickness says there's more gravity at the end,
But
more
that-
weight.
I'm reiterating though, again, that the idea of gravity, that I'm giving into gravity, is very different than the idea of where in the body you begin a movement. I'm right now.
Well, it could be initiated
that's
with a
what the-
bow.
But that's what the meaning, as far as I understand it, the initiation bow, this bow, it's being drawn horizontally, usually it's drawn vertically. That symbol is used in the system and pretty well accepted. I mean, people don't use it as much, you know what I mean, but it's pretty well accepted to mean I begin the movement, I begin, where did I write it down?
You wrote that somewhere.
Right, here. What this symbol means in the system, and you all can verify or tell me I'm full of it, but what I've always thought it meant was I do an arm movement
Mhm.
and I
And
be,
starting
and the
here.
impetus for the movement, where I begin the movement, that's a very different, completely different idea than talking about the use of my energy in which I give into gravity, the dynamic or the effort, we call it heavy effort, or called, what is it called in dynamics when you give into gravity? That's strong? Or it's, I mix them up. Tell me, sis, because I don't want to, anyway, a giving into gravity,
Heavy.
whatever. Heavy.
Heavy.
That's,
Weighty.
right, heaviness, giving into gravity, and as a, you know, that's a very different thing. I can give into I can do both. I can initiate that giving into gravity. I could initiate it in my feet. I can initiate it in my head. So we've got two different ideas. Or I can initiate something without giving into gravity. So to use the sign that means initiating to mean giving into gravity, I'm saying
No, we don't want that.
it's a contradiction. That's
We
my
don't want
problem
that.
with doing that. I prefer this idea as, so far I like this idea to mean a general idea of swinging, but this would mean true swinging. In other words, the way that people usually, something like this, or putting it on top, either this or this, one of those variations to me is
Can I
clear.
just go back to your G over here?
Okay,
We
we can switch topics.
Now, if you have the shoulder sign in the bow without the initiation, it means led by,
Right.
and so that wherever you are, the shoulder would go first.
Exactly. Or you could initiate in your shoulder, right? You could initiate in your shoulder, but lead by your hand.
Yes?
They're different ideas.
Yeah.
I lead by where do I go first in space? Where does the impetus? So this, you can do both. You can do both or neither. They're different ideas, and it's always, in my opinion, better, first of all, it's a bad idea to give different meanings to the same symbol. Whoa,
It's confusing
the
enough.
times that we've gotten into trouble for that. Secondly, when you have two ideas and there's separate ideas, it's nice to have separate symbols for them. So you could say one, you could say the other, you could say both, And then you could combine the symbols the way we do when we say you're moving on a path going forward or so forth and so on. So in this case, you have two separate ideas. You say, I move my arm, led by my shoulder. I move my arm, initiated by my shoulder. Right? Okay, or what if you do both? I don't know. We could say, my arm is initiated by my shoulder and led by my fingertips. I don't know if that's the right way of saying it.
Charlotte,
You can't do them both at the same time.
I would say,
I might, yes, you can. Well, let's start with Ann's point.
I would say, if it's initiated, I don't think it lasts that long. It happens at the beginning.
Okay, so that's the question I was asking before. Let's come to that in a second, but Ray, you had a comment about you can't do them both at the same time?
I don't think so.
All right, I'm gonna lead by my hand.
To initiate it means that goes first.
No, that's the point. It doesn't go first in space. It's the impetus. It's the sense, it's a sense
It's just
of,
in all the examples, they have gone forward in space.
well, I'm gonna try to give an example, but let's not stay on this, because I
Yeah,
think
no.
that Ann's thing. But you see, I'm gonna try to make an example where I'm, let's say, and maybe if I go like this, all right? I'm trying to make my initiated here, I'm gonna initiate it here, right? Initiate it here, but make it led by my fingertips.
But then what I see it's actually led by come a little bit slight second after.
Now we're gonna actually come to Ann's point. When you initiate, it seems to me, we're coming to your point. When you initiate, oh God, the minutes are gonna be really hard.
Watch the video.
That's right. Anyway, I'm not gonna worry about that now. So this was a good point that I wanted to make before. And it's this, I'm gonna just draw it. All right, so the question is this. Question is this.